damn, I wish like that. Right now, I'm so jealous of both of you guys because you can be so direct and it's so comfortable for you. It's so natural.
And we're incredibly good looking.
And you're just so fucking hot. You're just so the hottest people in 26th Street right now. The two of you right now.
The hottest in 26th.
There's a line in front. You guys can't see it.
yeah.
You think they're here for candy, you know?
No, I
We
mean,
the real candy.
the hottest. Never too shy. We're back. We are here. I'm Paulina.
I'm Tati.
And producer Marco's here.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, we don't never see him though. But you have 8 fans now. That's cool.
I think I have 9, so I'm pretty
No,
happy.
you
Stop.
have 9. He has 9.
This man has 9 fans.
I have a comment about that, but let's introduce our
We
guest.
gotta bring our guest on. And we have Johnathan here.
Hello.
You look nervous.
I'm a little. I am. I'm excited.
Nervous is good, though.
It is
Like,
good.
if you're nervous, that means you actually care.
I do. I care
so
a lot.
that's great. Be nervous.
Oh my god, being nervous is cool though. Yeah, it's like natural Adderall.
Yeah, something like that.
Natural Adderall. I never thought about
It's
that.
God's Adderall. Anxiety.
Yes.
Anxiety.
Yeah, anxiety, being nervous, all of that.
Did you guys see Inside Out Part 2?
No, what is that? Like a kids
No.
movie?
Yeah, it is.
It's
yeah.
a kids movie, but like
It's an
I feel
adult
like a
movie,
lot
too.
more adults are the ones like
Going to see
hyping
it?
it
But
up.
I feel like
to
that's
see
every
it.
Disney movie. Like you
That's
realize
true.
as an adult, you're like, this is not for children, but
Yes.
somehow because it's animated, it is.
Yeah, that's true.
Interesting. I have to go see it. Did you see it?
I did see it.
Did you like it?
I did like it. It was good, but I still think I like the original one better. But I do like the play on the new like characters, anxiety,
Oh,
Is the kid getting
envy.
older?
Yeah, she's like hitting puberty, so the hormones are coming in.
Oh, fun.
And so that's what it's all about. I took my mom and my grandma, but I did not tell them the movie because my mom would be like, "Why are we watching a cartoon?" Like I did not tell them. So like when the cartoon came on, they kind of just looked at me like,
I love it. It was
"Are
like
we
that.
in the right theater?" I'm like, "Yeah."
It's like that trend when Despicable Me was coming out and people were like, let's get ready, like wearing suits and everything. And they took their family to like their parents to see Despicable Me. And
amazing.
like black tie and everything.
Black Tie,
I have
the
no
movie?
idea.
That's
yeah.
hilarious.
I love it. Good
That's so
stuff.
funny.
Well, we're back another episode, and today in the
Yes.
hot seat, mic 3,
it's hot.
mic check, mic check.
Check.
We
Super
have the one and only Johnathan. What do you go by? Like Jonathan?
John.
Stars.
I like to
Star?
see what people
Johnny?
come up with. I've
Johnny.
never been
Johnny boy?
someone. There was a girl I went to high school with. Sorry, Liz, and her name was Elizabeth, and I called her Lizzie one time, and she's like, "It's Liz," and I was like, oh, "Okay, as long as I'm not calling you a bitch, I feel like I'm not being negative towards
Yeah.
you, but whatever." Like,
No, but I feel
people
like
come
I'm
up
those
with?
people. Like
That's funny.
if you mispronounce somebody's name or you like nickname them, and people who get like so defensive,
Like,
it's
I don't know you.
You have trauma.
Yeah,
Clearly,
yeah.
there's trauma. Like, listen, don't take it so serious. Ease up.
yeah, these are just letters scrambled together to make some sounds, guys.
Right.
It's not that.
It's really
serious.
not serious. I agree with that.
Yeah,
Okay,
that's true.
okay. Well,
Yeah.
Jonathan's here. We're so excited. So today we're gonna dive into a couple topics that were brought to our attention. I think they're gonna be good because it's not only just like our opinions, but there's I don't know. There's some facts behind it. There's some advice to follow. So if you ever felt like envy or jealousy, and that doesn't have to be negative. It could be like a positive, right? You can feel something like you want something that someone has in a positive light. We can also help guide you through that too. Why the hell not? We do it all here.
Let's do it.
From ratchetness to righteousness.
To your taxes.
We do it all. Do your taxes? Yeah, I'm doing my taxes too. I love
I
it.
did mine.
I'll do
Yeah,
my
I did
taxes now. So let's start with affirmations. I think you
Cute.
should go first because you have one, you said.
Yeah, I think
love
it's just
it.
something I've been working on for a long time, and it's just patience, right? Just like being patient with myself.
Yes.
Things I cannot control, others around me, right? I can't control others. I'm just trying to be more and more patient. Yes. I think we can all be more patient.
Yeah, I don't know.
The question is, when people say like they're working on being more patient, like what do you do to work on it? Like what are the steps one takes to practice being more patient?
So I'm like typically a very anxious person, and I've been renovating a house for the last year. I just moved in, and Paulina knows like how, like you think something's gonna go one way, and it's just about being like you can be upset about every little thing that goes wrong, or just accepting it and moving forward. Like there's always gonna be something, and I feel like it's not just a house, right? Like life, friends, whatever, and it's just like we can't let it consume ourselves. Like I never want to have like something bad happen and then it just completely derails my day. And I know we're all like, maybe you and I are guilty of that, but I try not to be, and I don't want a comment or something stupid to like completely take me over. And I think patience goes like a lot along with that.
For sure. Yeah, I think even like for me, when I think of patience too, I think of just like taking a breath.
Yeah.
Like something so simple as that. And I think that's how I personally have tried to practice patience, where like I feel myself getting anxiety. I feel myself getting angry, whatever it is. And I'm like, all right, this too shall pass.
Oh,
Yeah.
Yeah.
For sure. That's a good one. Yeah, I got to practice that. I have none. That's a virtue that I do not have. But I openly say that. Like, I struggle with patience, but hopefully I'm doing better now that I have a kid. I hope that it's kind of teaching me to be patient.
I'm sure.
That's, teaching me a different way. I think my affirmation today is going to be that, sometimes you got to put your ass in timeout. That's my affirmation. Just go to timeout. I think a lot of times we get overwhelmed. We are, in a million places. Our mind's in a different directions, right? We're going this way, that way. We're getting things done. We're trying to just, do as much as we can in one day. And I know that everyone's 24 hours looks different based on their lifestyle, what they have going on, whatever. But I just feel like I'm going to start putting my ass in timeout. When I feel overwhelmed, when I feel like I have too much going on, when I feel like, even like, as petty as like a fight coming out with like my spouse or whatever, I'm like, okay, like I've been learning from my therapist about like, and you and I talk about this too, it's like taking a step back, right? And like not engaging in that fight. So from now on, I'm just like, okay, I'm going to try going to the other room, putting myself in timeout. I'm going to try taking a walk. And to be honest, it's been working, guys. So yay me.
Yes, timeout.
It takes a lot to be able to take a step back. Like, it's one thing I always say, like, if I ever am in a situation where I don't like where it's going, like, I know when to leave the room.
That takes a lot of willpower too.
That's so hard.
But I also, at the same side, or the other side of it, like, I hate feeling like I can't remove myself. Like, if we're fighting in a car, like, I literally can't just, like, roll out this car, right? Like, you have to,
I
like,
have before.
No way.
The one time. It
Yes.
was one time.
I have.
Wait, really?
Yeah. Oh my God. You have never jumped out of a moving car.
Not when it was moving, but when we got to like a stoplight or like a stop sign, I got out.
Okay, see?
But not a moving car.
Well, I mean, like slowly moving. We're going 80.
Okay, I hope.
It's like eight.
We were going 8.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I think
Okay.
everyone has.
Okay.
What's
Cool.
your affirmation? Moving on.
So you know me, I'm the queen of like going back and forth. So I have my original one, and then I thought of one driving here. But the one I thought of driving here, after what I read, what Johnathan said, I'm like, oh, I don't know if I want to use that one. I'm going to save it for the conversation.
Yeah.
So the original affirmation is what I'm going to go with. And it was a clip Pharrell was giving advice to somebody. It was like going viral on Instagram. Ooh. And Pharrell said, don't take it personal, take note and take care of it. So I feel like that could apply literally to what you guys are saying, like with practicing patience, practicing boundaries, practicing like who you give your energy to, friendships, family, whatever. Just don't take things personal, and then just make note of things and just move forward. Like take note and move on. Like notice what you need to notice, but don't surrender yourself to that feeling. Just move on in a positive mindset. That's kind of how I took that.
I like that.
Yeah.
I like it a lot.
Very similar.
Yeah, I was going to say, we're like really aligned
On
today.
brand. Yeah.
Producer Marco, what about you?
Oh my God.
He's about to just
Right. Fuck bitches, get money.
Yeah.
Fuck bitches get
Again?
money? What do you mean? I did that twice, Jonathan. Now I have 2 kids. I'm just kidding. Mine would be
She's not a bitch. How could you?
Yeah, she's not. No, I'm being funny. No. That's my friend we're talking about. No.
I'll make sure she texts you.
No way.
There's no. Now I forgot what I was gonna say. See what you guys did. There's lessons in failure. That's what I would say. There's lessons in failure, right? Everyone's success is not built only on success, but it's built on failure. So if you're feeling like you're failing a lot in life, like you're not getting through, just know that the most successful people around you have failed more than they've been successful.
That
and
part.
I think that people kind of don't realize that.
Yeah.
People look at like the tip of the iceberg, which is the success, but they don't look at everything under the water.
Correct. Never.
So keep going, keep doing you, and don't give up if you fail.
Amen.
That's me.
And I think a lot of times too, like with that being said, and this is to no one's fault, but I think sometimes people only highlight their highlight reel, right? Of like the successful parts or like those moments. So then exactly, you look at it, you're like, oh, this person's never failed a day in their life, or look at what they have, whatever, which goes into our topic really well too. But that happens a lot too, you know, because no one's gonna go on Instagram or TikTok and post. I mean, we do now. I think we're becoming more comfortable with it and normalizing. Okay, like look at me take this L really quick if there's like a purpose behind it.
Yeah.
But a lot of times on Instagram, wherever you're going to see a highlight reel, and that's just it is what it is.
It reminds me of like I remember being like a senior in college and everyone being like, life after college is it's everything, right? It's so much better. And I'm like, I just wish someone was like, it's terrible out here. Like live it up, take the classes, like just like all the stuff that we worried about even in college, high school, even beyond, right? Earlier is so trivial in the grand scheme of like life that we're gambling with. And it's just like, just be real with me. Don't give me just like what you think I want to hear.
Correct.
Yeah.
But I think it's only in my hot take, and I'm sure you guys will agree, I feel like it's only the people who really genuinely love for you or care for you that will give you I'm going to tell you what you need to hear, not what you want to hear.
Yeah.
I think if they're not invested in you and your relationship with that in any way, it's kind of like, whatever.
Like people know about me. Like I'm not someone you go to just for like, oh my God, it's going to be okay. I'll be like, girl, you need to get it together.
Yeah,
and
it's
like,
not looking
and at this point, if you don't know that, I pray. Yeah.
You guys, because I know you both are so similar in that sense. Like you will say that, come to me and I'll fucking baby caress you, put you on my tip, bottle feed you, boob feed you, whatever. Like that's, and I'm not proud of it. that's how I am. I know how I am. I'm working on being a little more direct, and I feel like sometimes directness can come off wrong, but I hate that in life. We feel like that because it shouldn't be wrong.
And I think that it kind of, again, ties in with the topic. Like, it's like these things that we think are negative, and it's only because, like, we don't know how to see the positive outcome. Like, for example, if I'm doing something wrong and you never tell me, all I'm going to do is continue to bother you. But if you actually confront me or be direct, you know what I mean? Or just being honest with the people in our lives.
You save so much time. You save...
Oh, I would have saved...
You save friendships, honestly, relationships.
Anything.
Yes.
Name it.
Yes.
That's my favorite clip, like, of 2024. That is my favorite clip. It was one of the Real Housewives clips. The girls are like, you've been so rude. You've done this. And then she's really calm and she's just like, name it. Name them.
Which one was it?
I don't know.
Fuck, I have to watch it now.
Somebody sent it to me because they said I reminded them of the woman who was just like, name them. Real calm.
Yeah.
Like, if you can't name these times.
I love being so calm when someone's ready to pop off.
See, my problem is my calm, because, like,
is rude.
Many people have not seen me, like, pop off because I'm very, like, calm. My calm is, like, I smile. Mm-hmm. Like, I smile just because it's, like, I'm listening. Like, but some people take that as, like, being rude. I don't know.
They can easily, you know, but
disrespectful.
Or is disrespectful, and it's genuinely not, you know. It's just like, that's me truly being calm because I'm trying to receive what you're telling me. Because if I was like the whole time, then I'm gonna get backlash anyway for that. So it's just
either one, you're gonna get backlash.
Yeah, literally.
You never win. Interesting.
Yeah. Nobody wins.
Interesting. So let's dive into our topic today because it's a really interesting one. It's pretty juicy. So, Johnathan, you found an article.
Yes.
Regarding?
It was about jealousy in friendships.
Which we don't talk enough about, and I like it.
Can I read the little...
I think you should, yeah.
Yes. So I found this in Dazed last night, and I sent this to Paulina, and it is right here. And apparently, like, Charlie XCX and Lord have some type of beef.
Never knew about it.
I don't know who those people are.
I didn't even... I know who Lord is. I don't know who the other person is.
Gay icon, Charlie XCX.
Oh, but like...
Sounds like a gamer.
And this is going to sound really ignorant. I'm trying to not be ignorant. But like, has Lord put out anything new recently? Like,
I feel like she's put some stuff out.
Okay. I haven't... I feel like I haven't seen her. I haven't heard of her in like forever.
At least, 7 years?
Something like that.
Royals, right? She sings Royals?
I have it up for me.
I have no idea. Yeah. I thought it was a group.
Is Lord the group?
Yeah. So I was just it's called like How to Cope with Jealousy in a Friendship, and it says, even if experiencing jealousy towards your friend is taboo, which I hate that it's taboo, it still happens. The term "I feel jealous of my friend" is more Googled than any other "I feel jealous of" statement.
Wow.
It's evidently not rare, just suppressed. Why? Jealousy doesn't get good press. It's an ugly emotion, or in the words of Charlie XCX, jealousy is just not a very sexy feeling, is it? Jealousy is shamefully rooted in the murky depths of the inadequacies we feel about ourselves, be it in our body, finances, popularity, creativity, before morphing into the beast of endless comparison, right? And I always believe comparison is the death of happiness.
Okay.
Yeah.
Stifled projection, and ultimately even more shame. And it does offer some ways on how to cope, and I think we can talk about it before we get into it. But I think it's like, I'll even talk about the example that I was talking about earlier. Like my two friends, I remember in my early 20s, my two friends were getting condos. I was so jealous of them, but so happy for them at the same time.
Yeah.
And I know a lot of people who are unable, incapable of separating like those emotions and actually being able to feel the joy on the other side of jealousy. And like for jealousy, like, yes, like I guess it can be seen as rooted negatively. And like, while I was jealous of my friends in this phase of their life, I was one, happy for them, right? But if anything, two, I used that jealousy to propel me forward, right? I was like, okay, well, you know what? Here's my goal. You know, this is what I want. I'm gonna take the steps now to get there. I didn't just like, in the article kind of goes into it later, but like I didn't feed into the negative side of jealousy, where I could have been like, I went to both of their housewarmings and I loved their places, right? But I could have easily been like, really, that wall color? Really, that's what you did? And I think that's where a lot of people go into, whether it's, I'm talking about a house specifically, right? But like, let's say, I don't know.
Pick anything apart.
Yeah. And it's like, what's wrong with you?
Yeah.
You know? And I think people just love falling into it. And maybe it's also because I'm a very goal-oriented and motivated person. I'm not someone to dwell in the negativity. I never want to be there. But I think some people don't know either like how to get out or how to escape the void, and they just continue to fall into the void.
I think that's a great point, because I too can say like, I felt jealousy, but love at the same time. So like growing up, I think this is the biggest one. When you said like times we've experienced jealousy, I could tell you right now, growing up, I was very, my parents were pretty strict. Like I couldn't go to sleepovers. Like I was the kid that like in 8th grade, they went to Washington and my parents are like, no, you're not going to Washington. Or like after prom, go get a cabin and go, no, you coming home. Right.
They were right about that one for sure.
So like they were strict with good intention for my safety and my protection. But growing up, I was just like jealous. Like, all my friends get to do that. They get to go on vacation. They get to like vacation, not just with their family, like with their friends. At like 17 years old, they're going to Mexico on spring break. My parents look at me like I'm crazy,
Yeah.
So I think I was always jealous of that aspect because I didn't have that. But I don't think it came from a place that was like, I hope you have the worst time in Mexico. I hope you get food poisoning after prom. Like,
Oh my God.
I didn't feel that. It was just like, wow, I wish I could experience that. And then like, you're happy for them, but then you're like, damn, I wish I had that. But I think what's important is like having that conversation with yourself, knowing like, okay, I'm happy for them. I don't have that. But if you are thinking like, oh, F them, oh, they don't even look cute at prom anyway, then you need to check yourself that like maybe these aren't people you genuinely really care about.
And maybe you do, but it's like, again, like you're falling into the negative element of it, right?
And that's something like, what are you gonna do, right? Like you said, to pull yourself out of that. And part of this article that you sent, there was something that says, if you feel jealous over a friend, tell them, which kind of blew my mind. Because it says you might find admiration coming out of that. Meaning, if I were to say, Paulina, I'm jealous of you for this reason, and then you're like, oh my God, you're jealous of me, I'm jealous of you, and then that would bond us closer, essentially, because we're being vulnerable with one another. And I'm like, oh my God, I'm over here jealous of this, something you have, and you feel the same way towards me, towards something. It's almost giving us a sense of like, wow, I feel safe now. Or, oh, we bonded a little closer than I thought we would. Or it kind of like relaxes that negative energy.
I can see that.
What's funny about that though is I feel like that's speaking to a very female and feminine trait where it's like if someone's gonna compliment your nails, you have to compliment them back. So it's like you're being like, I'm jealous of you of this, and now I have to be
I do that shit.
I love your hair. My hair is terrible. Your hair
unless I really mean it.
Oh, I'll say it
Because
just to gas you
somebody
up.
actually told me like, because somebody told me something. I was like, oh, thanks.
And there was no compliment back.
And somebody was like,
Awkward pause.
damn. I was like, what do you want me to be, Regina George? Like, oh, I love that skirt. That is the ugliest skirt. Like,
Yeah.
I'm not gonna just hand out compliments.
I'll never say
unless
something.
it's
Yeah.
intentional.
That's so
Like,
interesting.
yeah.
No, it's interesting because like with the friends and the jealousy thing, right? So I want to first start by saying I see it in a really interesting light. It seems to me, and I could be wrong, so take this with a grain of salt, but I feel like there's almost 3 components to it, okay? Now I'm making my own up here. I'm being my own little scientist. But I see this as like, okay, and there's three parts, right? When you're jealous of somebody, you're jealous of material things, right? And I was telling you a little bit about this, like
Can be.
material, and I'm making this up, but this is kind of how I'm in my head. I'm categorizing it.
Riddle us this.
There's-
Sorry.
You said what?
Riddle us this.
I'm gonna riddle you something, guys. So it's gonna be okay. Material stuff, right? Oh, like I wish I had that dress, or like, oh, I wish I had your house, oh, I wish I had like your car, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm making things up, but like that's what I'm material stuff. Then I see it as another category of and I put this one in like, I don't know if it's life events perhaps, but like your boyfriend, your spouse, your kid, your parents. I don't know what I would call that.
You're
I think
married.
I think it speaks to your
Maybe.
values or like what you think you're lacking, right? Because like
Okay.
for me,
Yeah.
I'm big. I'm the most Capricorn thing about me is I love things. Oh my god.
Yeah,
Like,
well, let me
it's-
finish
yeah.
my categories really quick. So, no, you're fine. So, he loves to do that. This is I love Johnathan so much. Oh, but hold that, though. Hold that. I want you to talk about it. So then,
Write it on the-
I know, write it down on your paper.
Right on the head.
Don't flip that paper over. Keep that paper down.
There's codes on the back. All the codes.
All the codes are on the back. So the way I play it out in my head is like, okay, there's the materialistic side, life events or whatever you want to call it, family, I don't know.
Phases of life.
Maybe.
Friendships, relationships.
And then I see the third one as the one I fall in, which is my jealousy. None of that shit matters. I don't care what house you have, what car you have. I don't care like if you're married, you're single, you got 8 baby mamas. I don't care. I look at the people, and this is where my jealousy faults come into, is opportunities and what you have as a person. If you have charisma and people love you, I'm like, damn, I wish like that. Right now, I'm so jealous of both of you guys because you can be so direct and it's so comfortable for you. It's so natural.
and we're incredibly good looking.
And you're just so fucking hot. You're just so the hottest
Naturally.
people in 26th Street right now. The two of you right now.
the hottest of 26.
There's a line in front. You
There's
guys
a
can't
line,
see it.
yeah.
You think they're here for candy, you know?
No, I
We
mean,
the real candy.
the hottest people here.
But you know what? Like, so I like to believe there's 4 pillars to a happy and healthy life. And it's ideal to be on all 4, but very rarely will that happen. It's your relationships, like your friends and family, your work, your romantic life, and your overall health. So right, like, and I feel like those kind of tie into a little bit with what you're talking about,
little
and it's
3
like,
categories I
and
made
it's
up?
like, yeah, and it's like whatever you're lacking, right? Like I think you're very career oriented. So
Yeah.
if an opportunity comes up for someone else, you could be like salty about that, right?
Oh, I talk about this all the time. Like, I sorry to cut you off, but like my friend at work, like, I mean, she started from the bottom, now we're here, and she's killing it. Shout out to Kiki, but I just tell her all the time.
I love watching her videos.
I-
BT Awards.
that's
I was behind her at the Chris Brown concert.
Oh my God.
She's dope. She's really
like
cool.
she's so dope, and like, and I always tell her, I'm like, I'm so jealous of you, but like I hate using that word. I think the word is so.
But that's what
icky.
it's the
I know.
taboo-ness of
Yeah.
it, right?
I
Because
know.
like we can express and like we can have a whole other conversation about like the difference between jealousy and envy. They're similar, they're not the same, and I can never really remember which one. So I think for our conversation, it'll be kind of like synonymous.
Yeah.
But right, like we could be jealous of someone and express that. Like I remember when you first moved into your house. I was like, oh, I'm so jealous.
Beautiful.
Like you're here, you've moved in, and I'm still working on mine. I know
You
my
worked hard
time
on
will
it.
come.
Yeah, you worked hard.
But I was jealous of that moment, right? Still happy for you, but I'm still allowing myself to feel what I feel. And it's because of like my own internal dialogue with myself. And I recognize where that jealousy is coming from. I could
It's what
speak
you're
to that.
lacking, or
And
you're saying?
not maybe not necessarily
Not
so literally in
lacking,
this
yeah.
one, right? Because I guess if you really want to go for it, yeah, I was literally lacking my home, right? Like I
moved in.
wasn't moved in.
Yeah. You had a home, you just weren't moved
Yeah,
in.
I wasn't moved in,
Yeah.
right? And so yeah, I guess in that sense, yeah, I'm lacking. But like because I know where it's coming from, I can express it to you, and it's not like a weird thing. And then I don't think you had to be like, and I'm so jealous of your boots. Look at those boots. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you would never, right? That wasn't the point of it.
Yeah.
But like, again, I think it comes from like a place of like what we want. And I think a lot of this goes with comparison, right? Comparison, like seeing what someone else has that you're lacking, right? And I think that's what's going to drive people mad all the time. Because there's a million things we could be comparing ourselves to,
100%.
people, places.
And I think I fall into the people one. Like, I think everybody has something that like I look at and I'm like, I love that about you. Like, I like love, like you guys are very, like I said, direct, whatever. Like I love Kiki's light. I love how hardworking she is, but also I just love like just her spirit. You know what I mean? I'm like, that is so dope. And it's like, I don't hate on her at all. I encourage her. I gas her up because I'm like, okay, I love that about you. Or like when she gets these really dope opportunities, right? I talked about this on the radio actually too. And it's like, you could have that jealous moment of like, damn, I wish I was, I don't know, covering BET weekend. I'm making that up, right? I really don't. I love BET, but like, I'm okay not going. That's definitely her lane. Like she kills it. You know what I mean? So what I'm saying is like, when I look at that, I'm like, yeah, she's like, oh, opportunities. That's so dope. You know what I mean?
And it's a lot of things what you're talking about, like you can't replicate. Like you can't replicate someone's charisma, uniqueness, nerve, or talent, you know?
Correct.
You can't. No. And that's, I think, where I fall into.
And I think that goes into your 3 categories.
That
You made up go well with your 4 pillars. Categories, pillars. Love that. Because when I think about like as an adult, because I shared how I felt when I was younger, but as an adult, if I look at those 4 pillars, there's 2 pillars that I'm like, got this. Boom. And then there's the other 2 where I'm like, oh, that's not as high as the other one. That's the health one. Not saying I'm not healthy, but like as far as like fitness, working out, like treating my body better by deciding what I put into it and like not eating like shit and actually like having discipline to work out.
You and me
like
both.
I think I have friends that I would say I'm jealous of their discipline, that they, even if they don't want to do it, they still get up, they still go to the gym.
Yes.
It's not to say I'm not capable of doing that.
Sure.
I just don't have that discipline. Love that for them.
Yeah.
I'm not there yet. But like, I'm sure if I had their discipline, like I keep telling myself, if I worked out, y'all, you hoes are in
it's
trouble.
over for you. It's over for you.
Which leads me to my next pillar, which is romance, right? Romance, right? And it's like, I always talk about my cousin Tina and her husband. Like they were like this freaking fairy tale. Again, neighbors, 12 years old, fell in love, got married, had twins, had another baby, farms, moms, everybody. Like it's great. I love their relationship. And like I could say I'm jealous, but it's that again, it sounds negative.
Right,
Like
and I hate
it's
that.
almost like I want to say like I want that for me in my way when it's my time because I love that for them.
Yeah.
And it sucks to say, but I do feel like jealousy comes from like the pillars that maybe are not as high, or where in a sense like what you are lacking,
Or the insecurity, possibly.
But
or
even
that.
even what you're talking about too is it's like you aren't. It's about where it's coming from. Like you're coming from a place of like, oh, like that is a desire of mine.
Yes.
I don't have it, and it's like, and you're not being negative about it, but you're still expressing and being honest with yourself. Like this is something I crave and desire, and I'm aware of this situation, which allows me to not be negative. What's weird though, I went through a phase when anytime I saw like a happy gay couple, I like could not stand to watch them. I was like, someone's cheating. Ooh. Yeah, for sure, big time. Something's not right here. But that's just because it's like that's something that like I wanted for like I've been in relationships, but like I feel like I go through really long periods of time between relationships, and it's just something I've like desired. I mean, I remember like my first wedding after a breakup. It was like a gay wedding, and I was like, this is so cute. I really want this. I wasn't like wishing negativity on the couple.
No.
But I was just at least being able to be honest
I
and
remember
say
you told
this
me
is
that,
something I want.
and I thought that was really interesting because that wouldn't be my first thought in that moment. But I love that it was real for you, and you felt it, and you talked about it, you talked through it. You know what I mean? Because like you said, you both said it. Like it's icky to think or say jealous, but like, why are we kind of shaming ourselves or other people for feeling that? If they're being honest and they're not coming from a bad light of being like, I hope you fucking cheat and get an STD, like that's fucked up, then clearly it's coming from a really bad place.
Yeah, it's like acting on
Yes.
I think that's the thing. It's like it's acting on the jealousy, and
Correct.
that's we have to like strive to be away from. And I think that's the problem that we always face with a friend, a family member, or something like that. Like when we see the negative of it, or like this relationship is changing. Like we were talking about this. I had a friend before where I had gotten my last condo, and I noticed a distinct difference in our relationship. And I hate saying it was about the house, but I think it absolutely was. Like, at the same time, like when I'm talking about my 2 other friends, right? And I know for me, I'm talking about more possession, materialistic things, right? That's just like me, and that's my motivator. I'll be honest. And
Love it.
like I remember with her, like when she had her inspection, right? That can take hours. I went with
Yeah.
her. I would go with her to open houses. I love that stuff. I love doing that stuff with people. I still go to open houses. I love that, you know? And I feel like I noticed this distinct difference in our friendship. And I remember like it was weeks until I had like a housewarming, and that was the first time like she had seen the place, and she lived like minutes away from my house.
Yeah.
And her boyfriend had to tell me on the side, hey man, I really like your place. But he had to say it away from her.
Oh, stand people like that.
I hate it. Oh, it gets better
thing.
though. What did she say about never?
Separately at another time, we were like peeking with some people, and she's like, oh yeah. Keep in mind, she was gonna get a condo. She was like, I could never get a condo. I could never. And I'm like, first of all, who the fuck are you? You know what I mean?
I never say never, or never.
You know what I mean? And it's just like,
I would never.
and I'm like, and here I am
at you
sitting in my condo, right? Like, screw you.
Did
like,
you just close on it too, or you're about
I think maybe
to?
I had been there for a little bit, but it's like, okay, like tell me how you really feel. Like, why does it bother you?
That's different.
You're not paying my bills. Why do you care?
First of all, why the fuck do you care?
Yeah, and then 2, it's just like
It's like I would never wear black.
right. I would
Looks
never
great
wear
on you.
short shorts.
Yeah, like
No, I know. No, but
biker
it's like
shorts.
serious. But like that to me is another level.
Yeah.
That's beyond jealousy. That's like where you're trying to guilt somebody else. This is what I don't fuck with. I do not like this. When you're trying to guilt somebody else for having something they worked hard for, or having something they're proud of, and you're trying to like make them feel belittled just because you feel away.
I know.
Oh,
I know. It makes me
disgust.
Like actually, like bottom, like scum of the earth, like barrel,
I can't
low
stand
level
that.
shit. I hate that. There was a comment made by someone too, like about Johnathan here, his sister's house, and they're building it from scratch. Fucking beautiful house,
Nice.
beautiful house. And the comment that was made, because I was like, oh, I just passed Jonathan's sister's house. It's so beautiful. And this person goes like, yeah, it looks like every other average house being built in the neighborhood.
Oh my God.
I was like, someone put their blood, sweat, and tears, and I literally know Jonathan's sister and her fiance, and I seen them working, fucking, well, not her, but him, outside.
Oh my
Like,
God.
sorry, Margie. Working outside, shirtless, fucking wheelbarrowing shit, like building a house with his fucking team. Like, are you kidding me?
it's just like why, like,
But like, why? Just shut up. Just
like
shut
immediately
up.
like diminishing. Like that's what it is. Like it's minimizing, right? It's like
Yes.
how they're falling into the negativity of it, and it's like, and I feel so bad for people who's like, I think maybe because people just don't know how to process their feelings. A pitch for everyone to get therapy, am I right? But it's like people
Therapy.
don't know how to handle that, or like again, like we create this weird connotation around jealousy, confrontation, all these like seemingly strong words that like aren't that serious. It's just the energy and the pressure we put around them
Yeah.
that like make us incapable of addressing. And like I lost a friend because like they weren't able to tell me like what they thought was wrong or like I was doing right. Like that's there's so many other things going on there, right? But like I like to think that like if that guy like told me what like giving me the opportunity to improve or like change and act, right? Like at this point I'm not trying to change anybody, like we're grown, right? But like you could have at least given me the opportunity to
Correct
alter
your
my
behavior?
behavior,
Yeah.
you know,
Alter it.
right? Nothing's wrong. I'm doing this thing this year where like I'm not
Oh
wrong
my
about
God.
anything, and it's been working out.
Can't.
But yeah, it's just and that's
interesting.
unfortunate, right? That's something lost, right? Like now I don't have that.
Oh, producer Marco, what do you think?
Um,
Jealousy.
I think that your friends and people around you want to see you do well, but not better than them.
Didn't Drake say that? Who said that?
I don't know who said that, but
It's
I
Britney Spears,
I
I
just
think.
I
said
think
that.
Britney Spears said
Yeah.
that.
So me and Brittany are like this.
I'm just kidding.
Me and Brittany like this.
No,
But
that's a
I
good
think
point,
it's
though.
truth because a lot of people want you to be successful or want you to be, hit these milestones in your life until you pass them up in the quote unquote race. And I think I said this before. It's like if you think I'm racing with you, like it's not even a race, bro. Like it's not even anything like that. Because in my head, at least, I've been in the structure where like I've always been looked at as kind of like the person that's ahead of everyone, but I've never been the person who's like pushing people back. And I think like that's important because I guess I'm just so numb to it, like all the negativity and all the shit talking that like I don't really care. Like it doesn't do anything to me. And I hate that people's whole identity sometimes is trying to keep up with the Joneses, because I feel like that's just gonna lead you to like either go bankrupt or get a massive credit card debt. It's like people don't need to know what you're doing. People don't need to know what you're up to. And I'm a big proponent of like not posting. Like my social medias are about my kids now and my wife. Like
Shout out to them. We love them.
I don't ever do any
first
post
lady.
anything. And I never will. So like that's a part of it. But yeah.
But one thing that's so sad about what you said too, it's like you believe and expect that like everyone is just not necessarily happy for anyone else, right? And it's like I would hate to think that like I'm happy for your success, right? I would hate to think, right? I would hate to think that you either one of us feels more superior and we like, you know what I mean? That's why we're not feeling away or something, you know?
No, but I think like you guys have been friends a really long time. So there was probably a moment in your relationship where like there was some underlying tension about something, not necessarily success or anything else, but just the fact that like there was a sticking point somewhere. And I feel like when you're friends like that, your relationship always evolves. But when you're just like casual friends, that's when it gets to like the
I don't know if
jealousy.
I agree.
I don't think I agree with that.
Really? You don't think your friendships have evolved?
I think my friendships evolved, but I don't think like I'm thinking of like my best friend now. Like when we first met each other, I don't think, at least for me personally, I don't think there was ever a moment where I was like,
I have to pass you up.
I never said that.
How long have you known your friend?
2010.
So I think maybe what we're talking about too is like because some friendships can be so younger, there isn't the pressures of adulthood that we've associated.
I still don't agree though. What did you say though?
Well, I said like that you go through a TAF in your friendship, not necessarily jealousy, but like where there's a point in your friendship where your friendship is challenged. And I think that's because I was talking about you two, like specifically when you're long-term friends, it doesn't necessarily mean it's jealousy because you've evolved through so many things. Like Johnathan says, if you've known each other since kindergarten, right?
Right.
And you're just becoming adults, like there at those years you've gone through something where you didn't see eye to eye. But if you're going through, let's say like your early 20s to like your 30s, there's definitely the pressures of success and professionalism in a career that have caused those jealousy issues, because that's what it is.
Can I be real? I think it's one of the reasons why I don't have any gay friends is because I think gay men are very competitive with one another. Like there was a friend that I met in college and I was like, oh my God, my gay best friend, we're gonna be friends. Forever. And I saw a cute guy at a college party and I was like, oh, I'm gonna go up to him. He's like, oh no, I already called him. And I'm like, well, I'm not playing this game. There's not that many gay guys at the school, so we can't be doing this. So I'm like, I'll pull back then from our our quote unquote friendship, right? Like
over a guy y'all didn't even know.
No, I mean we weren't even friends in the first point, right? But it's like again already like, and here's competition immediately, and it's like, and so I feel like that's why I've never really gravitated towards becoming or having a lot of gay friends, because I'm like, I don't even want to deal with this competitive nature and element around it.
Yeah, and like we've been like, I can talk about a competition in my life. Like we have a really close couple friend that we went through like a competitive phase part, right? But it wasn't initiated by us, at least. It was something where like it kind of started as an offhand like comment, like, oh, you got this, so we had to get this. That was initiated.
They actually said that?
Kind of, yeah.
Oh my God.
I think people can be funny, but unless you know the intention more than we do,
I would never.
But,
go ahead. Sorry.
But it was like, it was kind of comical, but I always believe that when people say those kind of things, like there's
some truth in there.
There's truth to it.
Hell yeah.
And so it ultimately boiled over.
Yes.
It ultimately boiled over to like a situation that happened.
Yeah.
So like that competitiveness is keeping up with the Joneses, people not wanting you to do better than them. And it's like really tough.
I don't know that person's your friend. I would never ever go up to you and be like, Tati, like I'm gonna get my master's because you did, but like I'm gonna do it better.
Like, that's just weird.
That's so weird to me.
And I think we talk about lately a lot about like when you're going through like a life transition, pregnancy, weddings, relationship changes, right? Like you lose friends. And I'm like, those people were never your friends. Those people were never your friends.
That's
you're finally shedding acquaintances.
Agreed.
That's all it is.
Because life is gonna change no matter what. Pregnant, not pregnant, married, not married. Like you're not the same person you were 10 years ago in your 20s, whatever.
Yeah.
We are none of us.
Yeah.
Yes, life has happened to all of us in different ways. We've lost parents. We've gotten married. We've had babies. We've lost whatever. Like it happens. It's life. If you truly lose a friend because of a life event, I so question that friendship. I'm sorry, I do.
100% agree.
I
think the sad thing is too, I think a lot of people don't know like what like a real friend is. And I think that's a whole other bigger problem because they don't know how to be a friend. They don't know how to be happy for someone. They can't communicate like, oh, I'm happy for you. I'm jealous of this, but I'm so happy for you. Like if you feel like you can't comfortably say that to your friend, they're probably not your friend.
That's a great point, and that's what I've been sitting with. I'm telling you, after reading that on this article, I was like, I'm thinking about friendships I had like 10, 15 years ago that like I had to remove myself because there was jealousy there, but their jealousy was definitely like portrayed as like super negative hate. Like I was mocked for being a princess. But like it was brought up all the time, behind my back, in front of me, everywhere, and I was like, okay, like
we get it.
Not truth that you're a princess, but truth that they felt
no,
that.
it's true. I am a princess, but like,
but they're doing it to be assholes.
No, but
they want it to be mean.
It was literally like all the time. It was thrown in my face, like, you have a father and a mother, and like, I'm so sorry,
bro. What?
No, legit.
You have a father and a mother.
No,
you have a father.
That was always like how it started. Like, oh, Tati's a princess. She had a mom and dad, so she's used to like.
That's fucking
okay,
weird.
but like for you to keep saying that, so
like there's something here.
Yeah, and like there was a point I was like, okay, what's with it? I got a daddy. You don't got a daddy. What do you want me to do about it?
I got a daddy, bitch.
No, but like, what would you like me to do to make you feel better about that?
Go find
and
the
at the
dad.
end of the
Projection.
day,
It has
it's
nothing to
projection.
do,
It has
yeah.
nothing to do with me. But the fact that you get to a point where you're so frustrated to be like,
wild.
what do I need to do? Like,
I
no.
can't help you because you can't have that conversation with yourself, right? If you're
Correct.
projecting, it's because you can't process what you're internally feeling, and now you're fucking making it my problem. Can we swear on this? Sorry.
Yeah,
Yeah,
we can. Go
man,
ahead.
I drop shit all the time. Here I go. And so that, you know how I said I had 2 affirmations? One of them was don't flirt with envy.
Ooh.
And what I mean by that is like the minute like you see it coming, because you talked about like jealousy and envy, like there is a difference. What's really the difference? So like when I think of envious, it's like they want what you have and they'll do whatever it takes to get it and make sure they'll be happy if you didn't have it. That's how I think of envy.
Yeah.
So when I say don't flirt with envy, is like the minute you start saying, okay, princess, it's like, oh, I'm not gonna continue to entertain this.
There you go.
Like, no. And I've been the biggest culprit with like entertaining envious people. And it's definitely like fucked me over.
There's this really awesome YouTube video that everyone should watch from ContraPoints. She's like this queer theorist, and she's talking about like jealousy and envy. It's like an hour-long video, but like, I mean, I think a lot of it comes from like even families, like siblings. You know, I think that's where jealousy kind of first takes place.
I could see that.
Like there's like a picture, I think it's either like me or my sister, and like she's crying over like me being born because she knows that like she's not getting attention. I mean, think of your dog, right? When Aries first came home, right? Like that was a transition because it's like, oh, you're not gonna like just always pick me up. Like now I'm being cast aside. It's like they know what there's something different here, right?
Yes.
Yeah, that's for sure. What were you gonna say, producer Marco?
Nothing. No. I'm wondering who's Aries though.
Paulina's daughter. Her first name.
Her
first
name
name.
was supposed to be Aries.
It was never gonna be.
No, it was for like a day.
Sure,
For a day.
And Javi said no. My
That's
mom
kind of a
said
dope name.
It's the fucking best name I've ever
It
heard.
is really cute.
I love that name, Aries.
The God of War.
I want to call her Aries. She's gonna have 500 names, but I wanted Aries so
She's
bad.
Mexican, right?
I
It's
mean,
fine.
yeah, I was gonna say she's literally.
Gabriela.
I
Aries,
wanted to call her Aries, and Javi said no, and then I was like, damn, and then no one else seemed fond about it in the family. My mom was like, oh, can I pronounce it? Yes, you can. It's not difficult. She's like,
What's
pick
Aries
a
in
name I can
Polish?
pronounce.
Yeah.
Aries?
Aries, I don't know. I was
Aries.
like, hello, and then we were gonna put her as her middle name, but then her initials would be Gag. I said no, we're not going to put Aries as her middle name, so her middle name is Sophia.
Gag City, kind of love it though.
I love it too.
Gag
Gag
City.
for it.
Right, like,
Gay son or thought daughter, everyone. Gay son or thought daughter.
she's
It
not
can only
gonna be
be
a
those
gag.
two.
So we call her Aries. I might just call her that.
No, that's a dope name. But anyway,
Love it.
Yeah, that
Thank
is a
you.
cool
Thank
name.
you.
I
I know.
like it.
I'm really upset about this to this day. I still sit
You're
here.
about to start an argument. She's gonna go home like her name is Aries. We're
Yeah, she
changing
go,
it right
Javi,
now.
see, people like Aries.
Yeah,
The people
people
want
would be
Aries.
jealous of her name. Okay.
Maybe that's what
Nope.
we don't want, right? So it's interesting in the ContraPoints video, she's talking about how like in so many cultures outside of the US, right? You don't like people who are the ultra wealthy, like they blend in, right? They're not trying to like showcase their wealth because they know it'll attract a jealous or envious eye. And like we are trained the complete opposite, I feel like stateside, right? Like you
Show it off.
You show it off. You show and tell. Right?
Isn't that the whole thing, the whole theory with Japan?
What about them? What about Japan? What's the political corner?
What's going on in Japan?
Hey, what's going on in Japan?
Everyone's face was like,
Paulina's
What's going on in
political corner.
Southeast
What's going
Asia?
on in
well,
Japan?
isn't that like a theory? Or like, we
Back to
learned
Japan,
this.
yeah.
We learned this in school.
What did we learn?
Did I didn't?
That,
What did
like,
we learn?
People in Japan,
Tell us.
Teach
tell us.
me.
they literally buy, like, okay, so everyone's house looks the same. It's smaller, right? I don't know, like, they're just smaller.
Smaller landmass,
But
though,
it's
but yeah.
what's inside the house that makes you wealthy. Is that not
counts?
Japan?
I've never heard of
I
it.
think that's all of us. It's what's inside that counts.
I've heard this about Japan.
Yeah.
I don't know.
That's for the next
what I heard.
episode.
Yeah, we'll talk about Japan.
I'm gonna Google it and find
The
out.
political
Everyone's
corner.
face was like,
No, but that is true.
Back to our White House press secretary.
That like a lot of people in this culture now, it's like show what you have, let people know, like, yeah, I worked for this, I got this.
Yeah, but that's a very distinct like inner
It's our
city
feeds.
thing. Like that's not necessarily like if you go to certain parts of the country or you talk to certain people that have had generational wealth. That's not that they don't go by the flashy stuff.
Like old money versus new money is very different.
Yeah,
You know.
like I can present you to people that like are wearing tore up jeans and like
Oh, for
New Balances that are like 10 years old and like my man's got 9 figures in his account.
Yeah.
So like
Well, you only have your two pair of shoes and you balling.
I'm not balling at all. I'm struggling.
I'm just kidding.
They're rentals.
I have I rent my shoes.
he's a Birkenstock boy now.
I'm a Birkenstock boy on the weekends. That's what
No, my bad, weekends.
On
Weekend
weekends.
shoes.
Weekend
Marco,
shoes.
though, I always say that because Marco's like, I got two pairs of shoes.
As
I
he
wear.
should.
Yeah.
Same.
I can't like guys who have like
Oh,
20
yeah.
pairs of shoes. Like, bro. Like,
Yeah,
what
that's
is
my
going
husband.
on?
I don't understand.
Oh, really?
It's so fucking weird to me.
I'm sorry, Javi. but
It is. No, don't be sorry. It's the weirdest thing. I'm like, why?
Yeah.
I'm not a fashionista, as you can fucking clearly tell.
What do
on
you
the
mean?
podcast.
With your Hokas?
With my fat people shoes, dude, they're the best. And I live in Hokas right now.
Yeah, she's a runner and a track star.
Well, I'm not a track star, but I am a Hoka whore. That's what I call myself.
I bought her a jogging stroller and I can't wait to see you never use it.
What if I do? What if I just pop out with it?
I
Pop out.
please show me.
motherfucking
Show
go
me.
time.
Pop off.
Motherfucking
Pop
go
off.
time.
Fucking
Show
go
me.
Hobby,
time.
fucking
Pop
go time,
out.
bitch.
Pop out. With Aries.
With Aries.
In the
With
jogging
Aries in the
stroller.
stroller.
So
It's gonna be a bag of flour.
when
in there.
Aries is 6 months, when she sits up, I don't know when they sit up. When she sits
I think
up,
it's 6.5 months.
Yeah,
they set up.
depending in what area.
you don't know.
I have
You don't
no
know anything.
idea.
So when she sits up, I will be taking her. But my mom wants the stroller now because she wants to take her for walks at the house. And actually, I'm a liar. It reclines back, I guess. I did some research on her.
Mentirosa. Big liar.
You said what?
You're a big liar.
No, I did some research on her. My mom's going to take it. Why buy a stroller? I literally got 14 strollers for my baby.
I'm not one, but 14 strollers.
14
'Cause
strollers.
She's got it like that.
It happens a lot.
Yeah.
It
Weirdly,
just
you
like it happens. You just like,
you like need it. It's weird. Like,
you're
I have
need-
one.
I need a jogging stroller. Never goes on a jog.
Never jogs, but has it.
I have a travel stroller.
This big fat ass one stroller that I love, and that's like my walking stroller. And then I have my little Duna stroller when I go to Target. You need a Target stroller. What the
Of
fuck?
course.
You have to have one. So,
in this economy.
yeah, it's
Learning
wild.
so much.
I know. My friend Kayla makes fun of us because I'll be like the Duna and the Nuna, and she'll be like the Boona and the Nuna. It's just like the names are all rhyming. It's a lot going on. Well, Johnathan, thanks for being here with us today.
Yes.
Of course.
We appreciate your
Great.
yapping.
Of
You
course.
love. You're a
I do
yapper.
love to yap.
No, he like yaps all day.
Do you want to read what the tips were
Yes,
from the
let's
Yeah,
read them really
article?
let's do
quick.
that. Here, I'll give it to you. You
Let's
can read
see.
it.
I think they were very helpful.
They are very helpful. I never would have thought of
What are the
that.
tips?
Some of the
right
tips
here.
that you mentioned.
So, like, one of them was accept that feeling jealous doesn't make you a bad person. Contrary to what your internal monologue may whisper, Feeling jealous of a friend does not make you evil. It's actually pretty normal, especially for the countless women who are socialized to view other women as competition from a young age. To start, you need to acknowledge that jealousy is there and understand that it doesn't make you bad. It's a natural human emotion that everyone is likely to experience at some point. And it's the first step in dismantling the shame that comes with being a jealous friend. And I think this is the most important one we were talking about was don't act on it. Where there's jealousy, there's also the temptation to behave like a dick. Feeling jealous doesn't make you a bad person, but acting on it isn't wise. A psychotherapist points out that intense feelings of envy can make it difficult to be happy for your friend when they share their achievements. If you get a sense of pain that those achievements aren't yours. They explain that this can come with the urge to drag your friend down and take the joy out of the thing that you desire. Talking about that house, right? As irresistible as this compulsion might feel, acting on jealousy can damage the friendship and intensify the feelings of shame. You're not required to act on every impulse that surges your body. Take that breath Tati was talking about, and let that impulse pass. And work out where it's coming from is the next one.
Yes.
This is where it gets personal. Jealousy often stems from feelings of inadequacy, insecurity, or fear of losing the friend's attention or affection. Healing primarily begins internally. It's no surprise that Charlie, XCX, right, titled a song about jealousy, Girls So Confusing. Between the mesh of personal insecurity and outward projections of jealousy, it's often difficult and even painful to make the connection between the two. And the last one is get vulnerable. The idea of telling anyone you're jealous of them probably sounds sickening, but it doesn't have to be. They argue that getting vulnerable with a friend about jealousy can actually deepen your relationship. Sharing these feelings that you feel jealous of is also you sharing things that you admire in your friend. Put gently and kindly, this may be experienced as flattery and positive feedback, which will only make you closer. There's some more, but yeah, very interesting stuff.
I would have never thought of that, but I like that part of maybe like there's a connection in there. And if there isn't, there isn't. That's okay too.
You don't always have to say something back, right? Like
No.
you can accept the comment, right? And
Okay.
I hear you.
and move forward.
Thank you for sharing. No, I think
like it.
because I think that takes a lot. If you think
does.
about it, for some people,
Oh, absolutely.
to be so vulnerable and say, "I'm jealous of this." Like for somebody to say that, I would assume a person would be like, "Oh, well, thank you." Like I think that's a situation you just won't say, "Okay, thanks," and that's it. No, there you have to like understand like the place they're coming from. Something like that's not easy. No. So you need to be a little kinder, a little softer.
And even to get to that point, right? Because some people won't even get to that, right? They'll actually just act and then a shit pool infests, right? But
That
like
happens, yeah.
But like actually being able to vocalize, right? And again, like you think about like what you can actually say to your quote unquote friends. If you feel like you can't say that, right? Like probably not that close.
That's the one right there.
Drop.
If you can't say it, that's not it. They ain't your friend.
And that's fine.
facts.
And that's
And
fine.
that is okay.
Cut them off.
Well, thank you, Johnathan, for being here today.
Thank you for having me. This is
Yes.
so fun.
Thanks for yapping with us. We
Yes,
appreciate it.
yapping.
Follow
Anytime.
us on social too, and we'll be back next week. We're gonna continue to rotate our 3 guests, and then we have something fun on social too coming up for you guys to participate in. And we really appreciate it if you did. So, like, subscribe, help us pay our bills here, so we can have the lights on. Otherwise,
as hot,
Yeah,
so
it's not
that's
as hot
good.
today.
We're getting
So.
there.
You guys must have watched the video. That's how we pay our bills, if they watch the videos.
Of course.
If they don't
And
watch,
like TikToks, Instagrams,
TikTok, we're
Reels.
back on
all
TikTok.
that.
Back on TikTok.
Back on TikTok.
Didn't even know there was a TikTok. By the way, there's a comment on a video that's like, "That's my teacher."
Cool.
I didn't even know I was on TikTok.
Block.
Yeah, right.
I didn't know we had a TikTok.
You're on TikTok.
I'm on.
I just
we're on
comment.
TikTok.
I comment to YouTube comments. So if you want to talk to me, put a YouTube comment.
You're 9 fans.
Yeah,
9.
my 9 fans.
I love your 9 fans. I love it. Well, thank you. At Paulina Rowe
At Talk with Tati.
At Johnathan Starzik.
and Never Too Shy Pod. Follow us. See you next time.
Bye, everyone.